When I was 20, I thought success meant more of everything. Making more money, owning more things, doing more, just more, more, more. And now that I'm 30, I've realized that success means having your health, having your freedom, having a strong and healthy marriage, and surrounding yourself with family and people you deeply love and care about. When I was 20, I thought that being healthy meant I had to move my body more, eat less, count calories, limit my portions, and force my body to eat foods that I didn't even enjoy. In fact, most of the lessons when it comes to health, diet, and fitness during my 20s were simply to unlearn a lot of these beliefs that were ingrained in me. Today is my birthday. I just turned 30. To celebrate, I wanted to sit down and share with you all of the most valuable life lessons that I've collected over my 20s. Delaying gratification to me now is so important. It is a habit that I actively practice. When I was in my early 20s, I constantly searched for instant gratification. I would spend any income that I earned when I was studying at Juilliard immediately. I would perform gigs, I would perform concerts, make a couple $100, go on a little shopping spree. Looking back, that was such a waste of my money. Now I see everything that I do and every choice that I make as an investment in my future self. Instead of first thing in the morning scrolling on TikTok or scrolling on Instagram, I get myself outside. I go on a nice little relaxing walk with Aspen, who, by the way, is right here sleeping on my lap, sunlight on my skin and in my eyes. It just helps me start my day in the best way possible. Now I see money very differently. I see it as a chance to invest in a better future for not just myself and my husband, but also for my future kids, my parents. I now like to save money and invest my money. Second life lesson: listen more, talk less. This simple habit has really helped me form deeper connections, friendships, and relationships, have more seamless relationships and workflow with my team members. I just learned so much more about situations and people that I would not have learned otherwise. I've noticed, like, working with so many people in this industry, most people really love talking. I have zero gift in gabbing. I do not know how to gab. And I've realized throughout my 20s, it's okay to not fill the room with words. It's okay to just listen. I used to feel embarrassed and I used to feel like I should be filling any space with conversation. Now that I'm 30, I've felt really confident in the type of person that I am when it comes to communication. I love being a listening ear. This is something that I practice even within my carnivore community, the Steak and Butter Gang. Some of my favorite meetings are the ones where I get to hear my members out. They share everything that's going well, everything that's improving, and I just love hearing that. Third life lesson is to listen to classical music. And I'm not even trying to be biased here because I used to be a classical pianist and violinist. So a quick mini backstory of how I got here. I graduated from Juilliard in 2020, and we all know what happened during 2020, 2019. The world changed. Instead of having gigs every single week, concerts and competitions to work toward, I had zero. It also happened to be the exact year that I started the carnivore diet. And I stopped being vegan for 6 years. I was a very strict, devoted vegan. And so that year, studying at Juilliard, I decided to go carnivore. Because I was healing so deeply and I was so entrenched in this carnivore diet experience of mine, I decided to just post updates. This is 7 years ago, so the carnivore diet community back then was a very, very small, tight-knit community on the internet. They supported me. A lot of you guys are still here supporting me today. You're a true OG. I love you. When I made that huge career change from being a classical musician to a content creator, I forgot the value of classical music. Only this year did I start listening to classical music again, and wow, it has really made me realize just how powerful listening to classical music is. When I put on my favorite album, Beethoven Piano Sonata album, I feel calm. I feel like I'm in this deep flow state. My brain feels so stimulated and invigorated. In my last vlog, you guys all asked for a classical music playlist. I've created one for you guys. I'll link it down below. Top of the line pianists, orchestras, symphonies, conductors, violinists, quartets, string quartets, all of my favorites. I've put it in an album and you guys can enjoy it with me down below. This next life lesson took a lot of time to really understand and learn. Stop worrying about what other people think. And this has really eaten up my early 20s. I spent so much of my time, energy, and mental capacity worrying and thinking about what other people thought of me. I was very insecure. Entered my 20s with cystic acne, with eczema, flare-ups every single week. Being a performer and constantly having to be on stage, it deepened that insecurity even more. Looking back, I doubt anybody even noticed. I doubt anybody even cared. It was even the little things like walking into my piano lesson with my professor, even playing the piece and performing in front of them. I would constantly be thinking, oh my God, turned out terrible. I bet he is so disappointed in me. Caring so much about people pleasing as well, it was exhausting and draining. I think this is also another skill that you naturally learn when you are a performer. You're in your body, but also out of your body. When you're in your body, you're performing the piece, you are making the music, but at the same time, you're living this out of your body experience where you're observing yourself performing that piece and analyzing how is the audience perceiving me as I'm performing. Okay, did I do that phrase correctly? Did I just perform exactly the emotion that I wanted to convey in that last 10 seconds? All the while you are performing the piece in real time. Funny enough, this is something that I let go of after I became a content creator. Being a content creator has taught me a lot of valuable lessons, building a thick skin and just not giving a crap about what people think of me. They're just judging a book by its cover. Because I do post about very controversial things that are so personal to people. Food. I mean, you can't get more personal than talking about food and diets. People are unwilling to be open-minded, and so they are reacting in that moment, looking at something that is so shockingly different that they can't help but judge and troll. Understanding that has really helped me step into an era of just being me. I often get told that I am unreasonably strict with things. I firstly don't really care what other people think, but at the same time, this is my body, my life. I get to do whatever I want with it. I realize that I don't need to party over the weekends. I do not need alcohol to have a good time. I like to be in bed by 9 p.m. I like to wake up at 7, sometimes earlier, and I like to just do my routine day after day. I like eating boring meals. In fact, I like eating the same thing every single day because it's what makes me feel my best. This next life lesson is listen to your gut. Listen to your gut. Every single time it has served me positively. And the biggest example of this is another pivotal moment in my life when the pandemic happened and I decided to post on social media, and then the pandemic fizzled and things were kind of getting back to normal. There was this really important conversation that my mom had with me right in the middle of my 20s. My mom called me up and she checked in on me and she was like, when are you going to go back to school? Like, she legit asked me, when are you going back to school? And I said, what do you mean? She said, well, you're not going to do this social media thing forever, are you? You have to go back to being a pianist, and I see you as a professor. You can do so much more than just social media. Because I trusted my gut, and I really knew deep down inside of me that I had found what I was meant to do. I stood my ground and I told my mom in that moment, I don't want to go back to school. I do not want to be a professor at a music school. And in fact, I don't want to be a classical pianist anymore. And when I say classical pianist, I mean someone who pursues performing, concertizing, so that you can make a living. That year was a huge year because I felt free. I really felt free from the expectations that my mom had for me. Instead, I decided to just do what I wanted to do with the rest of my 20s. And here I am, 30 years young, living my dream life, doing exactly what I want to be doing. If in that phone call, I let my mom convince me that in fact I did need to go back to piano school and I did need to go and pursue my doctorate degree, I think my life would look very different. I don't think any of you guys would be getting any of these videos anymore. Another note though is I realized that being a pianist is not as difficult as being a content creator. This might surprise you, but through all the skills and the hard work and the hours upon hours of practice that it took to get into Juilliard, be a serious classical pianist, I realized that it still wasn't as difficult and time-consuming and confusing, grueling as what it takes to be a content creator. And yes, I am coupling being a content creator with also being a business owner and being a book writer. I bundle all of that together. I hope you know that your favorite content creators put in so much passion, their creativity, their time and energy, and sometimes their blood, sweat, and tears to just produce one video. On most social media platforms, the algorithm usually rewards you and pushes your stuff out further when you are consistent. So that means posting every single week. I'm constantly thinking about ways to help my Steak and Butter Gang members, it is just like a 24/7 in my mind. It's definitely a lot more complex than just being a musician. Even with all that being said, I would never ever trade this life and this career that I'm living right now for any other career. I love making content. I love helping people heal. For anyone who needs more than just content, more guidance, that's why I created the Steak and Butter Gang. Funny story, I actually created the Steak and Butter Gang right in the middle of the pandemic. When it was the pandemic, I just went all in with making content. And right at that same time, I started the Steak and Butter Gang because everybody was feeling lonely. Like being locked in your apartment in New York City, and your apartment is 500 square feet, you crave for connection. And so during that moment of distress for the entire world, the voice in my gut was telling me, if everyone is feeling so disconnected, why not just create a platform for people to be connected again? So the forum literally blew up overnight. I think I got like 5,000 signups and 5,000 accounts being created in the Steak and Butter Gang the day that I launched it. I still remember that day. I didn't sleep. I literally stayed up all night because the dings and the notifications of people joining and creating their accounts in the Mighty Network was constant. It literally sounded like this. Ding, 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 ding. To this day, 6 years in, Steak and Butter Gang is still very much growing and vibrant and so passionate. Zoom calls happen almost every single day. It is so powerful to see someone who's in the Netherlands and it's like 4 a.m. speaking to someone who's in Florida, and they're connecting on Zoom in front of my eyes about how they both are healing the exact same things. The energy and the love and the connection in these Zoom calls are something that you honestly can't feel anywhere else. I don't even know what I did to deserve such incredible coaches on my team, but I love them. People just don't feel heard. They feel gaslit by their own doctors, and they feel hopeless when it comes to healing their issues. Well, not anymore. Because in every single Zoom call, there are people saying that they're reversing diabetes, they're getting off medications, they've lost 100 pounds, they're finally pregnant after years of trying to get pregnant. People even reversing cancer and becoming cancer-free. It is jaw-dropping, the types of people that come into the Steak and Butter Gang. The next life lesson is take action. Take action on your dreams. And just take action in general. In my early 20s, I was constantly in my own head. Sometimes just preparing to do something hard took so much time that it drained all of the energy out of me, to the point where I never got to the point of actually doing that thing. I would overthink things, I would overanalyze, be stressed and anxious all the time. Looking back, it was 100% fueled by my poor diet. Okay, being a vegan, of course, it completely wrecked my mental health, my physical health as well. But when I trained and forced myself to just take action, no matter how scared or anxious I was, I realized one huge valuable lesson, which is every single time that I took that action, I was able to eventually overcome my fear. And the more that I would get in my head and think and overanalyze and circle around, never once did I eventually overcome the fear of what I was afraid of at that time. The more that I forced myself to just be uncomfortable and just do the thing, do the action, or just take action in anything at all. And this could be in career, in relationship, in friendship, in personal struggles as well, in healing, in diet. I always got closer to my end goal every single time. If I have 10 emails that I have to get done, I get those 10 emails done instantaneously. I do not procrastinate. I do not tell myself I'll do it tomorrow, because does it get done tomorrow? It never gets done tomorrow. It gets done usually like the week after, or when it's past the deadline. And I have found that the feeling of relief that I feel after getting that hard task done is a relief that is so nice that I'm addicted to it. And when it comes to carnivore, right? Like when I first went carnivore, did I love not eating any sugar and desserts in my favorite cookies? You have sugar cravings, you have withdrawals, you want to treat yourself, you want to eat that favorite ice cream when you are having a bad day. But when you focus on doing things that are uncomfortable for the delayed gratification of optimal health, fat loss that stays, pristine sleep, insane energy every day, all day, it is so worth it. And once you get there, you realize just how important and essential taking those actions were. When life is so hectic and life is so fast and we have all these dreams and goals that we want to achieve in life, to journal has been another life-changing habit. You will notice that immediately after you write it down and put it on paper, your mind will feel clearer, it will feel more free, and it will feel lighter. And in a way, now that I know exactly what makes me happy, I have also learned to be more comfortable, to just be more selfish. You guys have any thoughts or any life lessons that you would love to share that you've learned along the way? I would love to learn and read your life lessons down below. So do share away in the comments. Oh, and for all of my Butter Bites watching, drop the music note emoji. Anything to do with music or instruments, drop that emoji down below to show me that you watched all the way to the end, that you are paying attention, and that you are an OG Butter Bite. Check out that classical music playlist that I created for you guys. Love you guys. I will see you in my next vlog.